and welcome to Bickering Book Reviews. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Becky.
And today we're talking about Payback by Kristen Simmons, which I got off of Edelweiss.
I think I did too.
And it is the third and final book in the Vale Hall series. And so basically, if you haven't read or watched those previous videos, there's going to be spoilers in this one. Just it is what it is, 'cause it's where we're at in the series. So basically, Caleb's been kicked out of Vale Hall, and Bryn is not having that. And basically what she's decided is it's time to take Dr. O down. And so she goes and she finds all of the other, like Caleb, the defective students who have been essentially erased from the world. Like everything about their identity has been erased. And so they've all been pushed into these really kind of difficult spots, because if you don't have a birth certificate or, a license, you can't really do much. So basically she's trying to get all of the con artists together to out-con the main con man. But that's really difficult because he's super smart, and so they've got to be really careful about knowing who they can trust and trusting the right people, and it's really kind of hard to know who that is and who Dr. O is working with and who's not, and how he's tracking them and if he's spying on them. And it's all just trying to stay safe in the face of the great master con man. So can the student out teach the teacher?
Out con the master?
Yeah. So, you know what I mean? So
I loved the first two books in the series, and I didn't love this book, and we were talking about this, and I think the pacing was off. Because it felt like it took a long time for stuff to get there. And I think the problem is this book introduces plots and characters in like the second half of this book. And we're winding down and things are being added. And I think that threw it off.
I can agree, because I think if this book had been split into two, you could have spent the first half of the book really getting to know the defected students. And that would have been really interesting, because she's really great at developing character.
Yeah.
And then you could have tied it all up in a final book.
So
I think you're right.
One of the characters she introduces is a former graduate who is now like a big award-winning actor on a TV show. And like he could have his own book series. Like he is interesting. And she is really good at developing the characters. She develops the plot and she developed the setting. Even the settings were very well developed.
Because I'm really interested to know more about the Charlie Dillon character. He was with the gang.
Oh yeah, that and
he's interesting.
And that's the thing, because there were like 5 or 6 characters that were introduced in this book, and they all were interesting, and they all had these stories, and the characters that we've known this whole time get new stories.
Right.
But it just felt like it took forever to get to the end.
Good.
And I feel like it was like, the rising drama and the climax. So I feel like we got to here and then we went down to resolve and then we went back up to develop.
Right. I didn't realize that until you started talking about it having too much story. And yeah, no, I completely agree with that, because it definitely this book felt much longer than it was. And it was, and it wasn't bad. Like, it wasn't that it wasn't developed, and it wasn't that it wasn't well written, and it wasn't that the characters weren't great. Like, it was all good. It just, you're right, the pacing was off.
And like I'm reading this and I'm enjoying like this scene and I'm enjoying this scene and I'm enjoying this scene, and then I look at my Kindle and I'm only like 20% into it, but I feel like I should be at the end.
Right, exactly.
And that's unfortunate, because it is well written, and every new character I would read a book about them. Right. But I just
No, you're right. I agree
with
that. Whoa. We're not bickering. We're agreeing on this. Like, I am totally agree. Like, I full force agreeing with what you're saying. Like,
and it's like she was at a book event we went to last year before the world shut down, and she was so wonderful, and like you want to love her books. And like I said, her writing is top notch. Her characters are top notch. It was the actual plot arc that didn't work.
Yeah.
Settings excellent, like even like the way she describes every little detail, perfect world building, but the arc didn't work. And it kills me, because how often is that the problem?
Yeah, I mean, but if you like the other books in the series and you like the characters, like, then you're gonna like this. I just think it was more of a struggle than I had with the other two.
Well, in this one, I was super excited about. Like, I was, and then I'm reading it, and I'm reading it, and I'm like, oh, come on, and get to
Right.
the point. And that's the problem because, like I said, she's describing Bryn and everything about, like, there's a part where they go to, like, a very fancy gala, and the way she describes the dresses and the rooms, and it's great. I just, we were on a roller coaster only going up. So,
All right, are we
let's read
ready to rate
it.
it? Okay, so our rating scale goes from 5 unicorns down to 2 unicorns. If we don't like it, it isn't magical, and that makes it a horse. So where are you?
I'm at a 3. I like every aspect of this is top notch except the story.
Yeah, I have to agree. Like, I'm at a 3. It's definitely middle of the road. Like, it's not bad. It's not like over the top stellar. It's solidly built. It's got solid parts. It just, you're right. It stalls because we just kept going up, 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 and really we should be winding things up
Right.
in the final book. So
Like when you see a house and like it's like beautiful stone and like beautiful gardening, but the house is just weird. Like there's something shaped weird about it.
it's just weird.
Weird. So that is where we are on Payback, and we'll see you around.
Bye.
Bye.